Stop stream? No. Okay, it's streaming.
Oh, yeah. How long have we been streaming?
No, I hit it twice. I clicked it twice because it didn't respond.
Good morning, YouTube. YouTube Live. We're going to go live on Facebook as well. So you can find us on Axe Media Group's Facebook page if you want to check it out over there.
All right, I am on.
All right. A little opening music there. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning! Coming to you live from Axe Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay, with your hosts, Matt and Jay. I don't know what that sound was I just made, but that's all right. Of course, to my left, that's my boy, Tanner Gibbs, joining us live instead of on the phone. Usually Tuesdays, he's here on the phone. Yeah. All right. So, I'm waiting for it. I should just cue it up to that point. And I see for the first time all I'm meant to be. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it.
Wait for it. All right. Let's back that off a little bit. All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Tanner.
Glad to have everybody on board with us today. Yesterday we had a bit of I guess, an issue with.
Glitch.
It was, I don't know if it was Facebook or what it was. We may have maxed out our upload speed. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out this morning. So, I'm going to be monitoring the comments on my cell phone instead of on here.
That sounds like a good idea. Can you send me the link to that? See if I can get it.
We link to what?
The live stream.
On Facebook or the other one?
Never mind. I was talking about
Morning,
people
Uncle
on
Ray.
Facebook.
You don't have Facebook.
Good morning, Mr.
Sometimes,
Steve
for whatever
Schultz.
reason, it lets me open up things whenever they're sent to me as links, like pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Good morning, Kevin.
Kevin's on already. Look at that.
I see his icon or whatever it is that he uses.
The bird.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's a funny bird.
It's a funny bird.
There's all, sorry. Some of the things on Facebook cracked me up, like bad tattoos.
Oh, yeah?
Like there's this one guy who suffers from male pattern baldness, but you can tell he had a hairline tattooed across his forehead.
Oh, my.
And apparently before.
Continued to lose hair.
Yes.
Oh,
Or started losing hair. Tattoos to the face are a bad idea. Just saying, that's my personal belief. Just saying.
Just saying.
You know, I had a best friend a long time ago that was a tattoo artist, and he was telling me about somebody who he was tattooing their face, and before, like 30, 40 times. Oh, there's not enough space to continue this recording. He asked her about 50 times, "Are you sure this is what you want? Because this is going on your face. Are you sure that's where you want the tattoo?" Yeah, absolutely. Until he was done. Then she's like 10 minutes after, she was like, "You know, I don't know that was a very good idea." So, but you know what is a good idea?
What is a good idea, Matt?
Going to naturalsolutionstore.bz and checking out some of the products we have on there. One product in particular, Milk Thistle. It is a natural substance. Did you put a banner up there?
Oh, no, I didn't.
It is a natural substance that improves skin health.
Oh, wrong one. Hey, how did that get rearranged?
I don't know. It resets every time. Every
Okay.
time you start it up. Jay is learning. This is his first week operating the vMix software. It also helps to detoxify the liver and pancreas to control diabetes.
There it is, naturalsolutionstore.bz.
So it detoxifies the liver, supports healthy liver function, aids the liver cellular regeneration, boost immune response, and its powerful antioxidant properties help to neutralize free radicals. So you can go and get that milk thistle, and it looks like they come in 60 capsules. Yeah, go to naturalsolutionsstore.bz.
.bz. And Kevin Saxon says, the bird. .bz.
Yeah.
It says your image.
Kevin says morning sis.
Where you could put
So I guess his sister is watching too?
Yeah.
All
probably.
right.
She's probably watching on. We have different multiple multiple shares. Like it, if somebody's watching the video that you shared
I
off
know,
of your
that's
page,
where you guys conspire to change the subject when you don't like it.
what are you talking about?
Who? What? What subject?
Morningsys.bz.
I'm uncomfortable with this. Do you have any comments?
Right.
You're uncomfortable with this.
Let's check the comments. Please check the comments, somebody.
We could. I don't think our show would be as good if we didn't listen and read the comments.
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
Right.
That's see, that was one thing that was a downfall.
To the radio show.
To the radio show. I mean, Steve
We
Schultz.
actually had people really involved in that.
Yeah. I mean, we had thousands and thousands of people every month.
And we had texts during the show.
Yeah.
Remember Steve used to and Uncle Ray used to? And
Yeah, and that number is still valid, by the way.
Yeah.
417-597-4821. You can still text in during the show. Maybe someday we'll have to where you guys can just go ahead and call on in. I really would like to make sure we have a way to screen the calls first.
Yeah.
Have somebody talk to them, find out what they're wanting to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because I've watched videos of, it would be a nightmare for us. Every single person calling in were saying some absolutely horrendous things because they know it's live and you can't edit it. And this is back in the day when you really couldn't edit it.
Didn't have a delay.
Didn't
I
have
think
it.
that happened pretty quick.
Yeah, they added a delay.
Yeah.
Well, the radios had a delay for I don't know how long.
Still
Not our radio. But yeah, we could have a instant like on this. This has instant replay, so I could be up here in my
And
preview.
you can use it as the primary.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then leave the live one over here to be edited.
wow.
Well, it'd be you'd edit it over here. You can. I don't know how that works. I know there's an instant replay function on this software.
Yeah, I think you'd play the instant replay live.
Like
You'd play the instant replay as the live edition so that you have the real-time edition there so you can edit it before it plays in replay.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't know how we would inject a beep.
It might be an
Unless
investment.
I just yell really loud, beep,
Even then.
so they can't.
I was just, but I mean, like, if we did instant replay, we could do some pretty funny stuff. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
let's say all of a sudden a guest thinks your joke is hilarious and coffee just flies out of their nose.
Right.
You need to learn instant replay just for that purpose.
Yeah.
That would
no
be fun.
purpose whatsoever.
Well, I wouldn't want to have to clean it up.
Or a laugh.
Right.
Or a funny laugh.
Yeah, or and then you go back and you just play it over and over and over again.
Right.
Moral of the story, you know who we love here? We love our viewers, okay?
Yeah.
We love you, and Jesus loves you. Jesus loves me. This I know. I mean, for the
Morning,
Bible
Jacqueline.
Tells
tells
so.
me so, exactly. And it tells you so,
Little
too.
ones
To him belong.
to him belong.
Right.
Not short, they belong.
They are weak.
But he is.
Strong.
Yes.
Nice, Tanner. Nice.
Nobody finished that out. I'm like, yes.
Like this coffee. Like
the
this
coffee.
coffee.
Jesus
it is
loves
pretty
me.
strong. I'm sorry
But don't apologize.
for strong
Are
coffee.
you kidding? Jay, you know what?
You have the water there. You can douse it. You can.
But you
dilute
see,
it.
let me tell you a story, Jay.
That's true. Steve says you could have them call early before the show.
I used to not drink coffee, and like whenever I started drinking coffee a lot more is whenever I started going over to your house,
Yeah.
because that's where my dad was. And so just whenever I think of drinking
those of you who don't know,
black
that's me.
coffee, that's all I think of is like, oh, this is what black coffee is supposed to taste like, because that's the main coffee that I had, you know?
Yeah. I have a lot of coffee, like from stores and stuff, that just is like tea to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
To me, if you can see through it, like if I can see the white of the cup through,
that's
It's
like
water.
that's
It's-
water with a little coffee flavor,
Yeah.
and I just spit all over this computer.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, there is a problem with not having a delay in that no matter how many people you screen, there are people who will tell you what you want to hear
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get on the show, and then once they're on,
Yeah,
bleep bleep bleep, nothing but
yeah. That's why we got a hang up button,
yeah.
and then we'd have to go back later and
Didn't
find
we
a way.
have a way of doing that at one time?
No,
I thought we did work it out.
no, we couldn't work it out. It was a conflict.
We needed a device.
We needed a device, or just a speakerphone with a microphone like in front of it.
Yeah,
Would
that
work. So
Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
That would be great. But it would have to
So
be a
far.
quality JBL speakerphone, or
Right.
something with a good sounding, good quality speaker.
yeah. Glad you joined us, Rhonda Harden. That's what. Oh, we got a bunch of people watching. That's a good deal.
Jacqueline.
Be sure and share this video, you guys. That helps us out quite a bit. When you share and you like this video,
Yeah.
I like it.
the more, the merrier.
Yeah.
It's got a like. I haven't shared it yet. Do you want me to share it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What are you going to share it on your page?
All I have is a Twitter.
Oh, well,
sorry.
but I mean, whatever you want to do. But anyways, my throat's a little phlegmy today for
Mine
some
too.
reason. I don't know. I guess it's the weather.
Could be the weather.
There you go. Yeah, I can see it just fine. Looks good. Looks good. We got multiple streams going right
Melissa Abello.
now. What now?
Who's Melissa Abello? Morning, Melissa. I guess I missed her.
I'm not seeing her on here.
She's on here.
No, Jay's coffee isn't like real coffee. It has too much coffee. That's what Steve says.
It isn't like real coffee.
It's
It has too much coffee.
manly coffee. What is it they say? What is it? If you can stand a horseshoe up in it, then it's strong enough.
Yeah.
Rhonda Harden, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you. We really don't have a subject today.
Nope.
We were talking a lot before the show about the 4-part miniseries that we're in the process of script writing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're excited about getting that to you guys eventually. We're not going to say exactly what date we're going to release it yet. We have a date set that we'd like to release it, but this is our first project of this magnitude.
Yeah.
We have to learn things like lighting, sound, cinematography, set development, script development.
Yeah.
Artistic recording, the scenes
mean,
and stuff.
Yep.
It's an endeavor. So we can
Character
take all
development
the
and
prayer
character
that we can.
assignment. What's that?
I said it's an endeavor, so we can take all the prayer that we can.
Yeah, we do need the prayer.
Kevin says mic drop dot BZ.
.bz.
Mic drop dot BZ.
Oh,
That's
wow.
funny. That's
I
that
don't
doesn't
think
get
I won't-
old.
I won't live that down.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't get old. And he says that even whenever I'm not talking to him, he says it all the time. And his co-driver's like, "What are you talking about?"
.bz.
Exactly. After everything, it's great. That's we should get a bumper sticker that says .bz on it.
.bz. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Or a T-shirt that just says .bz on it.
That would be.
That's a
funny.
brilliant idea.
good.
You guys are watching us come up with stuff right here on the spot.
Yeah. Yep.
This is live, everybody.
Yeah.
Live.
We are live.
We are
Dot
live.
BZ.
Indeed. .bz.
It's like a hashtag.
Hashtag end hashtag.
It's the best end hashtag ever.
Hashtag end hashtag.
.bz. So it'd be hashtag
.bz. Oh man, end hashtag.
Yeah. That sounded like you were in pain. There's no controlling it. There's no
No.
controlling us. We are out of control.
That's like whenever we were up here doing our development of our other stream the other day, and there's actually a video on there that I want to save onto this one so people can see it.
Oh, live on
I
air.
don't know what you're talking about.
This is
It's disappeared.
It has not.
It has.
I doubt it.
It has.
It's in a secure file. Nope, it's in a secure file. Can't get to it.
Oh.
Administrative rights.
Watch me.
Jay clearly does not want that video out.
He's thinking about getting up and going and setting up administrative rights because he actually did not do that yet, and I do have full access to it.
Steve says #hashtag or #brown hashtag.
So you know how people say 3D,
Dot
three-dimensional
BZ.
chess whenever it's like complicated strategy? Right now, that strategy, it's like two-dimensional checkers.
My strategy in chess is that I can reach for something and accidentally bump the board. That will change the entire dynamic of the game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like to picking it all up and having to do it over. That's
Yeah.
my favorite strategy.
Another.
That is.
It's called the bomb.
That's a.
.bz.
Is That's it. We got to make T-shirts and bumper stickers that say .bz.
.bz.
Yep.
It's just literally a dot and then BZ. Nobody understands it except for us.
That
and
gives
all
us
of
an
our
opportunity.
viewers.
It won't matter. It'll catch on.
No, it will, and all of our
Nobody
viewers
will
will be
have to-
wearing them.
Right.
We'll make sure that we have like the Axe Media Group logo on the back or something, or you know,
Some things can be just ours.
yeah.
And we just, yeah. And then all of a sudden they start selling them on the.
That would be good support. I mean, if it really caught on and people were buying them. But we ought to do it and produce it before somebody else takes it. and
Right.
does
I
it.
mean, and another missed idea was like whenever
I'd buy one.
we started the radio, whenever you were starting the radio show
Uh-huh.
a long time ago, and you made that weird vroom sound that, yeah, just like that.
The morning drive.
Right.
.bz.
Sounds like a fly, just like.
Yeah.
So Kevin says it
pretty
works.
impressive.
When I say .bz, people ask me what I'm talking about, so I send them to the site.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Jacqueline Saxton says, I have something for you to discuss. My brother quit Facebook because he got too deep into the political world. Should we use Facebook for this reason? I joined in hoping to find old friends. Should we use Facebook more for this?
I agree, Jacqueline. Yes, and I agree also that Kevin made the right decision to get out of the politics
I
because
don't think that was Kevin that did it. I don't know if it was Kevin. Which brother was it? But
I think it's a good idea to back away from something that is taking over your life. That's
stressing you
negative-
out.
That's
Right.
negative and stressing you out.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why, because I do that kind of stuff. I comment on political things. I comment on things that involve different worldviews on my Twitter, and I just I take a break every now and then because you
Yeah.
can't stay in that because you'll become obsessive and you will be incredibly unhealthy.
I was watching a video yesterday. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was watching a video yesterday, and I had to stop watching it because it was stressing me out. And it was during a gay pride parade or celebration. And the guy was asking, "What do you?" No, it was at Washington D.C. out in front of the Capitol building, I think. And a guy was walking around saying, "What do you think the biggest threat to gay rights is this day and age?" And every one of them said Donald Trump. And then there was this white girl talking about the white power needs to stop and all this other stuff. And then he straight out asked him, what is more dangerous to gay rights, radical Islam or Donald Trump administration? And they all said the Donald Trump administration.
For all of you who don't know,
That's-
Donald Trump is pro-LGBTQ
Plus.
plus.
After
Yeah,
that.
well,
That just it's okay. And that's why I had to stop, because even now thinking about it, my blood pressure is shooting through the roof.
Yeah.
Because radical Islam,
literally.
they throw gay people off the tops of buildings and cut their heads off just for being gay.
Yeah.
And they're the one to say that Donald Trump is a bigger threat.
Right, but I don't think Islam is doing that here. Washington, D.C., Islam is not chopping people. So what would be the
Right.
biggest threat there? And so somehow they relate Donald Trump to the threat that faces them in Washington, D.C.
And I've never actually heard him say anything bad about, I mean, really.
He's pro. He's
I think it's
actually
that
for it.
I think it's that the conservative party and the conservative movement are behind him, And the conservative movement and the Christian church and most churches are against homosexual lifestyle.
Right, but most of them, okay.
So that's probably why they feel of the threat.
A lot of them.
And that law may change.
Kevin's twin brother Kent.
A lot of people's view is that the government should just stay out of marriage entirely, like it's not an institution that they should involve themselves with. And because why is it the government's job to talk about our social lives? It's their job to solve other issues like murder and rape and hunger and all those things. It's none of their business what we do in our social lives.
Yeah. I've heard it said, and I kind of agree, though there are some ways that it can go too far.
Right.
But I do agree that people should be able to choose whatever way they want to go to hell. And I don't mean I'm not saying homosexual is going to bring people to hell. But what I'm saying is that it's not my place to decide what you will do just because I think it's wrong.
Right. And it
doesn't impose anything on me. It's none of my business.
Right. Absolutely. And then we have our own sins we got to worry about.
Yeah.
We got the board stuck in our eye. We can't be going around saying, hey, let me help you with that speck while you got a board stuck in your face. First of all, you got to ask yourself.
I'm swimming through a lumberyard most of the time.
It's like you got to ask yourself, why am I in the position for a board to be protruding from my face?
Right.
You got to ask yourself these questions.
Right.
Don't worry about someone having a little sand in their eye.
Right.
But
as a Christian, I don't want to. Also, I don't want to take the power from Scripture, and I believe the Word of God, and I believe in God, and that it's that He wants certain things from us, and that He doesn't want certain things from us. And so, I would think, from my position, it would not be a loving thing to do to just tell people that something's okay. Now, I know that a lot of, or most people, I think, who are LGBTQ. Feel that
always get those
sexuality is something they don't want God to have anything to do with either.
Yeah.
Well, I think that God does have something to do with it, and that you can't really and you can't take that out of it. So, and I know that's offensive to many, but just know that I love you, and that's why I wouldn't want to. My focus and purpose in life is to see people get closer to God. God made us and gave us free will to be closer to Him. To choose to be close to Him. Like you told a story about how God spoke to you.
Yeah. I asked Him why He loves us above all others, above all other of His endeavors. And I just was quiet for a while and listened, and I heard Him, He spoke it in my heart. Because you can choose to love me.
Right.
That's the whole point of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He gave us, He's like, okay, you can either trust me with the knowledge of good and evil, and I will protect you and help you, or you can try to take it into your own hands.
Right. So, and if we truly believe, and God is a relationship, if we're to have a relationship with God, think about any relationship that we have in our lives, how we may be careful and sacrifice and make changes and not do something we want to because we know that it may hurt somebody we love, or at least be discreet about it. Anyways,
Right.
I know that's a hotbed. And,
well, Jacqueline says, we are here to support each other, not to judge. We are here to love one another as God loves us. Let's leave the judging to Him.
Amen.
Now, her question
Couldn't
about
have said it better.
Facebook, about like whether it should be for just getting to
getting back with old friends.
Right,
Yeah.
or political things. I think that it should be able to be used for both. It's a platform. People should be able to use it for both. People have businesses on there that are centered around politics to outreach to the community. I personally know somebody who's now considered a public figure on Facebook. I'm not going to say the name of on here.
Yeah.
Who is very conservative. They're very active in the church, and it's just been a really great way of connecting with people.
Yeah.
And so I just think that it should just be used as a platform. We don't want to turn it into a publisher. There's already stuff happening with YouTube right now, and we don't want all of our abilities to speak out on our beliefs to just go down the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I were talking
And
about
our beliefs
that.
are part of us.
Yeah.
Our ideals are, and we should be able to state them.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, granted, we are using a free platform, but but that, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
And what's not good for a boiling pot is not good for either.
Right. Yeah, no. I mean, it's good for us because we're eating the goose.
Right.
But
we are the goose.
we are the or
the
then
gander.
in that case, bad.
Yeah.
Bad. It's bad to eat the goose if you are the goose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin, well, we talked about Kevin's twin brother, Kent, earlier, and then Steve goes, "There are two of you, Kevin?" Laugh out loud. And Kevin says, "I'm the better looking, though."
Yeah. So part of the problem, I don't even know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought.
Got derailed.
Veer off. We had a veer off.
Yeah.
Get the tow truck. Mic drop. PC.
Yeah, I would say it is important to get out of a subject that is
Stressing you out.
Constantly,
Absolutely.
but it's also one that draws you into it, and there's a reason that you have that connection to that topic.
It's important.
So yeah, it's important to you.
You have
Well,
to keep.
I'm sorry. I was watching a situation go down amongst my friends from where I work the other day, and someone threw some political stuff in there, and then it's like someone just chucked a bomb or farted in the room and just walked away, and everybody was reacting to it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say fart because I'm immature. Anyways, and people say mean things to one another out of the cause of, I am Republican or Democrat or progressive or not, conservative or liberal. These aren't things that should separate us like they do.
Not in the way we all agree, and I mean we have certain things that we agree on, like we should be respectful to one another. Anywho, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I'm reading.
See, I think
I've missed something because they're making comments to me.
about
Back up, Jay. Maybe you will find it.
Because you were derailed. You said you're.
Oh.
Did you find it?
Yes, the plant is looking sad. That's why I went up in the middle of a show.
Oh my.
And watered it. Did I not water that plant yesterday?
No, I don't know. I think the last time it was watered was when I dumped water on it. That I know of.
I really, really think that plant is. I'm surprised that plant is still alive. Because people, I forget to water it.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
About the plant. I was kind of going to say two things about the last thing. It's about like, whenever you're having conversations like that, you shouldn't get. Well, first of all, you shouldn't feel personally attacked. And a lot of people take things just too personally whenever they're thinking about it, when it's like, what are you seeking after? Are you seeking after your own feelings or truth? Because if you're seeking after truth, you're going to throw your feelings to the side and go, I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to listen. And that's how you should deal with any conversation where there's a disagreement, Mm-hmm.
We're located in the Plaza Towers in Springfield.
And not only that, I said this yesterday, and I think it's very, very important. It's that too many people get caught up in politics and all these other questions whenever they're talking about salvation, like because all of a sudden they start to feel trapped for whatever reason, because they start to feel a little conviction, like God is telling them, hey, I'm here, and then they go, but what about this? And then they'll bring up a social issue or an issue of a sin. But like one of those things is you have to constantly remind them that God doesn't want you to wait till you're perfect to go to him. He wants you to go to him so he can help to cleanse you of your sin and to help you with your heart and to make it better, And that's something that you have to remember, because it gets to the heart of the matter.
And to find a purpose that transcends you.
Absolutely. And
that is
transcends
greater
this
than
world.
you. Something that will live after you.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And then that you can live for eternity.
What's that?
So that you can live for eternity.
I was. They need some more sunlight, Steve says. It gets plenty of sun in the evening. We came in the other day. It was what, 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
And the sun was just pounding down on that poor thing.
It needs water.
It needs water. This is the first time I think in 3 days it's been watered.
Yeah, it's not doing well.
No, it's not. Like I said, I'm very surprised that it's even still alive.
It's been through some hard times before, though.
Yeah. It'll probably
it's been
look
through the near-death experience before.
It'll probably look better before the show's even over with today.
Yeah.
On account of we just watered it.
Mm-hmm. Politics is
Kevin says he agrees with you, Tanner.
Politics and stuff like that is a controversial thing. You want it to be there. I mean, if you think about all of the controversial movements that we've had in the past, I think they really brought good results.
Yeah.
You know, even with the free speech thing and all that, I do feel like it's going to bring a good result.
Yeah. I mean,
at least it will in my life.
Worst case scenario, what would happen with the free speech is somebody creates some new platform that others are able to upload things to, which I am already understanding that they're already creating something new right now.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are parroting arguments that they've heard and haven't really followed the people that they're so eloquently quoting to understand the logical conclusion of that idea.
Right.
But I think so that bothers me when people parrot those things and they sound so eloquent and thoughtful about it, but then you know the person, you know that their ideals don't suit that conclusion,
right?
That they don't really believe that because they haven't thought it through, and if they did, they would say, wait a minute, maybe I'm going to back away from this. You know, so parroting something you've heard somebody else say because it makes you feel smart, or it may protect you against what you may feel is an attack from somebody that opposes your, you know, who you are or your beliefs.
Yeah.
But what I like about the controversies is that they've brought people out, and this free speech idea, though the words we're hearing seem to be that they want to eliminate free speech, I think that it is more true that what they're really saying, what I hear them really saying is, when I see, okay, you know how somebody may say something, but then their actions are different, right? Well, I think people are saying things, but their actions don't quite say that. So when somebody says we don't want free speech, but then they're speaking freely, we know that there's something in the gap there that's missing. There's something lost in the translation. I think what they're really saying is shut up and listen to me. I'm trying to tell you something that you're obviously missing. You know
then
what I mean?
On the other side of that coin, though, is you have those that are saying, I want free speech, and then not letting people talk.
Exactly.
But then there's even another
conundrum,
side, which is where people actually say that they want. Yeah. Well, most of the people aren't going out there saying they don't want free speech because, spoiler alert, the general populace in America wants free speech.
But they don't exercise it.
Right. Exactly.
Properly.
Exactly. That's part of the issue is that they don't exercise it, or whenever they do, they're being inflammatory. But that's still exercising free speech.
It is.
And nobody has any. Nobody has any right to stop that. But there's other people that are advocating for things called hate speech laws, which actually are literal laws that can get you ticketed for example, misgendering somebody. These are huge philosophies that are coming up.
I think a lot of the people at the top, yes, these are horrible ideas and they're trying to undermine our freedom. I think the people at the top were saying these. And that's why I don't like people parroting something that they've heard, because it's eloquent, it's well said, and it protects them. So in other words, I can shut you up and shut you down by saying something that I've heard somebody else say, and I've seen that that's an effective thing to say. But thinking it through to its logical conclusion doesn't work out quite the same as you think it does. You know, so I think, but what I'm still hearing for real is that, like we just said, people aren't exercising free speech. They're not using their freedom to speak, so people aren't being heard. I think that's really the conundrum, is people want to be listened to, but don't feel like they have the room to speak. And there's different people. Some are speaking too much. You know,
that's
like
one
me.
way to put it.
Like me, I have a tendency not to listen. I have to stop myself and change my state of mind and say, look, okay, I'm not listening. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And sometimes that takes an intervention. It takes somebody else interrupting and giving somebody an opportunity to talk. That happens to me. I mean, I talk a lot, and I got a lot to say. And I can't stop talking until I complete a thought. And then my thoughts all run together. There's 15 of them that I have to,
Now, this is kind of like, this is where my view is, and it's whenever you have, your views are mainly demonstrated in the mainstream media, you see it. It's like your views are what?
Jacqueline
Thank
says,
you, Jacqueline.
You do talk a lot.
It's like, because I mean, the reality is, I mean, they do get a lot of representation. It's not like they're being kept quiet. There are others that are being kept quieter, though, because there's a lot more research that I don't have with me right now.
That's what I do like about the controversy and the pressure, though. The pressure becomes so great in our country when we have these social issues. The pressure on every individual becomes so great. You're out in public and you don't feel like you can even open your mouth because somebody's going to be offended by it. And eventually everybody's like, you know what? Get away from me. You know, I've got something to say, too. Somebody who might never say anything suddenly feels there's such great pressure where there shouldn't be, that they have to
right.
speak out. Well, then people start to talk because those are people who might listen.
What were you saying?
I mean, I understand.
Nice,
The thing is that I don't.
Sorry.
What? I
do talk a lot.
I don't know. The thing is, I just think that whenever the pressure gets so immense, it just breeds like
anger,
revolutionary action, not like physical,
revolutions have had to happen, though. Without revolution,
it's like the reset button.
Yeah,
it's like ripping the Band-Aid off.
It brings
the
about
issue is, though,
change
the
that has to
polarity
come.
in this country is ridiculous right now. The polarity in this country is worse than it ever has been before because nobody's willing to talk to one another.
Welcome to the party, Jay Hunt.
And here's the way that I see it is this. Okay, one of them is trying to shut the other ones up, and then the other one is being rude, saying that they're not going to. You don't have to be rude. That actually makes it worse. Okay, if somebody's going to tell you to be quiet and shut up, the last thing you want to do is be rude whenever you open your mouth, because guess what? That just creates more division, which is why I think if you're going to do this and speak on this kind of stuff, you need to take those breaks, like I was saying, so that you can have a level head whenever you talk about it. Because what I've noticed particularly for me is whenever I did it for too long of a period of time without any breaks, is I just became just like ridiculous because it was just, consuming all of my time and my thoughts, and I let it get to me a lot. But when you take breaks, you're like, I don't know why I let that get to me so much.
That's right, Rhonda.
It was just like one little comment that somebody said to me. You need to have a level head, and this is in all situations, you know what I mean? Because if we're talking about evangelism too, if we're going to talk about evangelism, which ultimately is what our goal is with this.
And I just want to make it clear that Jacqueline did not say I talk too much. She said I talk a lot.
There's sometimes, like when Steve was here, I had to interject numerous times.
You had to interrupt, yeah.
Yeah. Poor guy, between the two of us, he hardly ever, he'd go.
He's a champion, though. He's a champion, though.
But you, that was Steve's dialogue with us. Like,
I don't think I even realized I was doing it for a long time.
Well, Tanner and I discussed this yesterday.
Yeah.
He out of the blue, I'm gonna put it on blast right now.
Right.
Out of the blue, he just said, being interrupted is my pet peeve.
Right.
And I may have
he squirms a little when he gets.
I may have gotten a little bit agitated with that a bit. Yes, because yesterday I was just gonna get up and let you two talk and see how long you guys could talk without me in the room, because you both talk a lot. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a talk show. That's what we do. But I'm just saying that he said interrupting is being interrupted is a pet peeve, and I told him, well, you got to check yourself too, because
I'm working on it like a lot.
Because he interrupts too.
Well, and there has to be an interruption. You got to be able to, because there are 3 minds here. There
Yeah.
are 3 lives here that all have relevance and are all equally important. And in order for us all to feel like we're part of this, we have to be able to find the room to speak. And we wouldn't otherwise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If interrupting somebody was absolutely unacceptable, there would always only be one person talking on the
Right.
show, and it would more than likely be me.
On a show, yeah.
And but that makes the show interesting.
Yeah.
Or the show would be nothing but humor and you know what I mean?
Right.
Your
Because I'm a
style.
goofball. Jackie, or Jacqueline, sorry, why am I calling you Jackie? Is it okay if I call you Jackie? Jacqueline, she says maybe this is where our school shootings come in. These kids feel that they have no right to speak. They're put down so much by their classmates, and it finally comes to a boil. That is definitely a possibility.
That is a possibility.
They are looking into the psychology of them as a group now. There's been enough of them that they're starting to look at their lives as a group and what are the similarities and differences
She
in their
says
lives.
I can call her Jackie.
Most generally, they're reclusive and they're separate, which may be that nobody wants to be around them. It may not be their choice. They may be reaching out, but people find their ideas and what interests them to be repulsive
Right.
Well, being a
and have
child,
a disdain for it.
being a child that was bullied a lot in high school, even in elementary school, I was bullied a lot.
Yeah,
Children are ruthless.
yeah.
Even when I dropped out in the second semester of my senior year, and I went back at age 21 to finish when I found out this little fella was on the way.
Yeah.
And
move.
but whenever I was at school, I was sitting back just listening to these kids. Oh my goodness, they're terrible to each other.
Yes.
Absolutely terrible.
Yep.
Racism. And I'm not talking about just white people being racist against black people. I'm talking about black people not liking white people. I mean, a full color spectrum. And they just they don't pull their punches.
Isn't that a common human experience, though? And we would all be school shooters and mass shooters if that was really.
Well, that's where it starts. Well, it probably starts at the home.
Because I don't
Yeah,
think you would shot
absolutely.
somebody,
Well-
even though you were heavily. You know,
Right. I did think, an vengeful mind before. I wonder what I bet they, crap their pants if I pulled a gun on them right now.
Most of them, one thing that they have in common is something about animal.
Call her Farley?
One of the things that most of these shooters, from what I understand, have in common is they've hurt animals in the past for
Yeah.
entertainment, to
Yeah.
entertain themselves, or
That's sociopathic behavior.
or to make an impression on the people around them that they were associated with.
Yeah.
So they don't know, not sure if it was a way to control the people watching, and some of them, I guess, I think there's even diaries of their making notes about it.
Some of the issues is okay. So some of the things, and I want to put out a few things here because the reality is they're people too, and if they're capable of it, that means any one of us in the world, whether you want to admit it or not, have that exact same capability. So you have to ask what drove them to that.
What stops them from inhibiting themselves from doing such a thing?
Exactly. Because
What causes them to lose the value of life?
well, some of it, I'm convinced is they're probably oppressed by spirits, and also in their life, it's probably both. Now, whether or not, I mean, it's probably very different stories
what the
depending
Bible
on who
says.
you're talking about.
Don't frustrate your kids.
Because, like, for example, Columbine was because their specific beliefs were that people were
Hey, Leo.
inferior. Some people were inferior to others, and that they were just quickening the evolutionary process. That was their particular beliefs. Now, all these other ones, I don't think is motivated by that philosophy. I think that there's just a lot of sick things going on in the head.
And in their lives.
And in their lives, absolutely. They probably have some of the most broken lives, okay? And if they do not, then they're probably oppressed. Because
Well, one thing what they thought for a long time that maybe these were particularly going after and shooting the people who had offended them.
Yeah.
But in fact, they weren't. They were
Right.
shooting the innocent.
Exactly.
Yeah, because at that point, right and wrong is a matter of their opinion of it.
Yeah. They're learning more about it and they don't understand it.
Right.
That's how it is with most issues. Whenever they're studying psychology, it like people think that it's oh, we know so much about the brain. I'm telling you this. We do not understand psychology the way that people think that we do. Okay? It's just the general populace doesn't understand that it's still a very, very theoretical field. And the reason why is because people are not acknowledging the whole being of a person. The reality is people can be oppressed by spirits, and when you don't recognize that,
There's a metaphysical part.
Right, you
Something
have
that
a lot of-
is not actually connected to our human body. That
Right.
there's a thought, something going around inside
true,
our
Kevin.
heads.
right, and that affects your whole being as much
Well,
as
yeah.
Well, it says, but back in the old day, we all had bullies in school.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the pecking system.
Mm-hmm.
It kept people in check. Like, how many school shootings was there in our days going to school?
Right.
In our days going to school, people brought guns to school.
And it was okay.
They hung them in their windshield, in their back glass, rather. Of course,
If
and
you
then,
had a pocket knife,
Yeah.
I don't think they even thought about pocket
No.
knives.
no, they didn't.
because there were Boy Scouts too that accidentally brought them all the time to school.
Yeah.
Or people that just carry one because they need to cut a piece of string once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're in shop class,
Open a box,
I carried a pocket knife all the time.
cut a hangnail.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, maybe this is an
Jugular,
important thing.
All right.
That's a joke.
That was a joke.
maybe this is an important thing because the reality is that it could have been stopped if they stopped exposing themselves to some things that they should not have exposed themselves to.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, because
Maybe
the
a few
reality is,
fistfights.
if you're going
Yeah.
through a hard time, it's a matter of how you treat the times that you're going through. That helps you. So ask yourself what you're exposing yourself to. This is important.
Yeah.
This is from a 16-year-old, by the way.
Okay, so I've said this before, and this is incredibly important because music is one thing that influences people a bunch. And I know you're like, I don't know the words, it's not affecting me. Actually, it's affecting you worse because guess what you're letting it do? You're letting the words slip into your subconscious, which actually influences your action a lot more than you realize.
They're not sure what's happening. See, the thing is, these kids all have common experience with every other kid.
Oh,
Facebook is
I
available
was
to
talking
all
about
the
in general
kids.
with people.
There's cyberbullying, too. Is
Something
really bad.
happens in their minds where they've made a decision that changes how they think and allows them to think and give credence to an idea and to separate themselves. Like, I couldn't think of shooting you because I don't want to get shot.
Is it just because I've got a gun?
Yeah, well, in general, that's one reason. But also because I do relate you as a human being to your family and the suffering that it would cause.
Yeah.
So there's a thing that happens in their mind where even the innocent become guilty, that they're not victims, they're part of
They're
a
champions.
statement or whatever it is that they're trying to do. So they shoot innocent people, and they're not relating to those innocent people or the pain that they're causing to their families or anything else. Somehow they've disconnected. They're thinking there's somehow that they what was it they're exploring now, that maybe something that's happening in them is that rejection is something that they're taking differently than normal people do, because everybody gets rejected.
We got a couple comments I want to get to here. It's because, now this is from Rhonda. It's because they took God out of the school system.
Vengeance is mine, says the Lord, and I think
Yeah.
a lot of their finding is that these shooters are vengeful.
Yeah.
And not against a particular person, but against the world in general. That's why they're shooting innocent people.
Oh, no.
Because when they shoot innocent people, that is their vengeance on the entire world.
Well, they have to do something in their mind to make that person guilty in their eyes.
I don't think they do. They're saying that they don't, though. They're saying that what it is they're shooting innocent people just because they're innocent. They
Yeah.
actually, that's their target.
I want to
That's their
clarify that
reason
my
for
comment
shooting.
on music
Yeah.
wasn't about the shooters in the way that they think. It was about keeping your mind clean, separating it from the things that can cause it to just throw you off track, you know?
Go to axemediagroup.com. I'm going to take this opportunity. There are two things I want you to look at in there. Go to the Real News Review. I think it's page number 2. page 2 or 3, look at the article including InTheGameInsurance.com and then the Sentimental Hoarder. There's contact information in there for both of those for you to be able to get in touch with them. There's also a description of what they do, their product, and how they can help you. If you're an antiques collector, I took a tour of the Sentimental Hoarder warehouse, and there's 8. I talked to Michelle, I got to look up I can't remember her name. My brain just...
Oh, my Sentimental Hoarders.
My brain's not working right at the moment. But I spent some time with her on the phone, the owner and the curator and owner of the Sentimental Hoarder, and she said there are 8 floors. She's got 8 floors in that building. This is downtown Kansas City.
Wow.
And
that's a ton. Did you get to experience all 8 floors?
No, I just experienced the bottom.
Wow.
The bottom floor, which is massive. The layout is massive, and there's so much stuff. You could spend all day in there and still not see everything.
And not see the second floor.
What is it?
And not even see the second floor. It's called the Sentimental Hoarder. They specialize in antiques and collectibles. So
that's awesome. That's right around where I'm at from.
Yeah, it is.
I could drive there and say, hey, you know who I am?
Except that you'd be breaking the law because you're not licensed.
Yeah. Don't break the law. But yeah, and I actually got some video and stuff I'm going to put together so you guys can kind of see exactly how it's laid out. I mean,
I saw it. Cool stuff.
There is all kinds of art there like you would not believe. Glassware.
Wide angle would be really good for that place.
Yeah.
You could see a lot more and less focus. Let people focus on what they're seeing in there. Like, oh, wow, what's in there?
Yeah. I mean, you walk through there 20 times and you would see new stuff each time.
Yeah.
Just be like, okay, well, I didn't see that there before.
Yeah. Like I saw the cribs up on the shelf.
Yeah.
With just the little legs sticking down.
And in the short video I took, I said, oh, that looks really haunted. And then I walked away. And then there was a point where there was a
and I
stationary
thought that
bicycle.
Really restorable.
There was a stationary bicycle there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look at this. I've never actually seen one of these in use before. Yeah.
But I understand that it's... Yeah.
All right, well, it's time for us to get out of here.
Is it really?
All right, intense show today, everybody.
It was a good show. I'm glad to be a part of it. And see you. I got to get pull my music up here.
It's just not enough time to catch everything, you know.
I know. Got to catch them all.
But I'll be back next week.
All right, so I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive today. Are you ready to click off there?
Yes.
So we'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in after the show today for something to celebrate with Tom and Amber and Grace. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Tanner.
And this has been The Morning Drive. Are we done? No, we're not. We're still on the radio.